Welcome back to Real Reddit Moments, where real-life stories are told in their most honest, poignant, and dramatic form. Moments that will make you angry, emotional, and sometimes make you wonder, what would I do if I were in that situation? Today, we're diving into a very sensitive and controversial story where marriage, finances, and trust come crashing together. A woman is about to marry the man she loves. But then he asks her to sign a prenup, a contract that makes her feel completely disrespected. The story is titled, AITA for telling my fiancé I won't sign a prenup that essentially leaves me with nothing if we divorce. Stay tuned, don't take your eyes off the screen because you're about to embark on a story that covers a wide range of emotions, from love, hurt, to trust, and personal boundaries. This story comes from Reddit user throwawayprenuptial. We'll call her OP, a friend who was about to embark on her dream marriage, until a prenuptial contract made her question, does the person she loves truly trust and respect her? OP and her fiancé have been together for over 4 years. Their relationship is strong. Their life is stable. They have lived together for almost 2 years and have gone through ups and downs together. OP is an elementary school teacher with a modest income, while her fiancé is a successful lawyer who owns a house and some other personal assets. One day, he proposed to OP on a romantic evening. She was very happy and agreed without hesitation. But the joy didn't last long when he presented her with a prenuptial contract, nearly 30 pages long. Main content. If divorced, OP will not receive any assets, financial support or share, regardless of time spent together, contributions to the family, or any other circumstances. OP was stunned. She felt like she was being treated as a financial threat rather than a partner. OP shared the story with family, friends, and a relative who is a lawyer. All agreed. The contract was seriously unfair. She went back to talk to her fiancé, proposing more balanced terms, like dividing assets based on contributions, short-term support in case of childbirth, time off work, etc. But he completely refused, saying that it was a life principle and something he had applied in previous relationships. He even said, I need to protect my future because I am the one who created the assets and you are not. Those words pierced OP's self-esteem, causing her to start doubting the relationship she thought was solid. After many nights of thinking and conversations that went nowhere, OP made a decision. She would not sign a contract that would make her invisible if the marriage fell apart. She made it clear that if her fiancé was not willing to adjust the terms to be more equitable, she would walk away from the marriage. He reacted violently, accusing her of being greedy for money, for property, and saying that she had broken his trust. OP was hurt, but still stood her ground. She wanted a marriage based on trust and respect, not fear of losing money. She eventually shared the story on Reddit with the question, AITA for telling my fiancé I won't sign a prenup that essentially leaves me with nothing if we divorce. Soon after OP shared the story, the post quickly climbed to the top of the RCAMI, the asshole subreddit, with tens of thousands of upvotes and over 15,000 comments in just 48 hours. The story became a hot topic of the week, not only because of its deeply personal nature, but also because it touched on a broader social issue, fairness and trust in modern marriage. A large wave of Reddit users spoke up in support of OP, affirming that she was not the a-hole in this situation. Financially fair. If a person is not willing to provide the other person with a minimum of financial security after marriage, then that person is not a partner. That person is a creditor. Lawyer Lady 77. As a lawyer, I have seen a lot of prenuptial agreements, and the one OP describes is a disclaimer of all rights. She's right to say no. Utamov Twins 2020. I gave up my career to have kids and raise a family. If my husband asked me to sign something like that, I would run away. Some people weren't entirely on OP's side, but weren't defending the fiancé either, trying to understand both sides. You middle ground, Max. A prenup isn't bad, but it has to be reasonable. He has a right to want to protect his assets, and she has a right not to be abandoned if the marriage falls apart. They need a win-win agreement. You skeptical spouse. I signed a prenup with my wife, but it's important that we rewrite it together to make sure it's fair. Never sign something that only benefits one party. Some comments criticize the OP, saying she was overreacting or misunderstood the meaning of a prenup. You trust is earned. She seems to be thinking about how much she'll get if we get divorced. A prenup is just a way to protect the person who earns more. There's nothing wrong with that. You Money Matters 95. You're okay with marrying a rich guy, but you're against protecting his assets. That doesn't make sense. However, these comments are widely criticized and often receive downvotes. One of the most prominent comments came from You Empathy Matters, with over 45,000 upvotes, and summed up the sentiment of the community. A good marriage doesn't need a contract to ensure you'll be dumped if things don't work out. The prenup isn't the problem. The problem is how he forced her to sign something that took away all her rights and then accused her of not accepting it. That's not love, that's power. This comment has been retweeted on other platforms like TikTok, Twitter, and even appeared on a popular relationship podcast. The story has led to a series of subtopics in the comments section. Personal experiences with prenups. Many people have shared their own experiences of being asked to sign a prenup, including successful people and those who lost everything in divorce. Views on financial power in relationships. Many argue that lopsided contracts are a manifestation of the imbalance of power in romantic relationships and marriages. Gender roles and financial bias. Some delve deeper into how society still views women as gold diggers when they question financial fairness, while men who do the same are seen as cautious. The Reddit community has responded with emotion, but has also sparked a wide-ranging and thoughtful debate about what a fair marriage really means. OP has returned to her post with a detailed update, reflecting on how she took in the feedback from the community. The thousands of comments, private messages, and emails helped her see the situation clearly and make a decision for herself rather than letting her emotions guide her. Summary of updates. A serious conversation with her fiancé. After reading a ton of comments, OP asked for a non-defensive, non-argumentative conversation. She asked him to explain the real purpose of the prenup and why it was so unfair to her. He refused to make any changes. Although OP suggested hiring a neutral lawyer to rewrite the prenup to be fairer, her fiancé insisted on keeping all of the original terms, including that she would not receive any assets, financial support, or child custody if they divorced. OP called off the engagement. After many sleepless nights and careful consideration, she ended the relationship. If he couldn't protect me when we were still in love, I can't put my life on the line for his future kindness, she said. Relief and self-belief. Despite the heartache, she shared that it was the right decision. Thanks to the support from the community, she regained her self-esteem, confidence, and no longer felt selfish, something her boyfriend had tried to make her believe was true. I learned that true love doesn't make you afraid to ask for what's right. Thank you, Reddit, for showing me that I'm not crazy or greedy. I'm cleaning up my life, and for the first time in years, I feel free." She closed with a simple but heartfelt thank you to the thousands of people who stood by her during her most difficult time, and not only changed her perspective, but also the direction of her life. This story is a profound clash between love and trust, between romance and practical calculation. OP faces a situation that makes her feel both love and fear, both attachment and doubt for the man she once thought was her ideal partner. Meanwhile, her fiancé shows too much assertiveness, to the point of turning everything from love into a one-sided commercial contract. We feel OP's pain and confusion when she is put in a position of having to choose between sacrificing her personal safety or leaving someone she once loved. An emotional shock, but also a time to wake up. Reddit played a pivotal role as a mirror. Through thousands of comments, the community helped OP see the controlling and unfair nature of the way her boyfriend built the relationship, affirm that her request was not selfish, but legitimate and necessary, providing legal and personal perspectives so she doesn't feel alone. The community has become a silent but powerful companion, helping OP strengthen her self-esteem and dare to stand up for her own future. Character analysis. OP character. OP is an intelligent woman who was once blinded by love. At first, she wondered if she was being too sensitive, if she was ruining the relationship. But in the end, she transformed into someone who knew her own worth and bravely stopped when things went beyond the limit. Fiancé, a seemingly thoughtful, successful person, but with a controlling mindset financially and emotionally. His refusal to accept any changes to the prenup shows that he is not looking for balance, but a default imposition. Lessons learned. A healthy relationship is based on fairness and trust. One party can't take the risk and the other has total control. Love shouldn't come with hidden threats. A prenup isn't wrong, but if it's designed to protect only one party, that's a red flag. Never ignore that heartache feeling just to stay in a relationship. If something makes you feel disrespected, listen to your intuition. The community can be a mirror and a support system if we know where to look at it at the right time. So we have just finished the journey of OP, a woman who bravely faced the truth despite love, pressure, and expectations of a perfect wedding. This story is not just about a marriage contract, but about boundaries, self-respect, and freedom in a relationship. If you were OP, what would you do? Would you sign that contract because of love or stop to protect yourself? Are you sober enough to see an unfair future or continue to hope that the other person will change? We look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments. Share your story, your perspective, because who knows, you might be the one to inspire or help someone wake up from a toxic relationship. See you in the next video. Real Reddit moments, real stories, real emotions.